today, when we find managers working in their office, they are always focusing on results. So, because there is a pressure from the top, like,
Right.
you have to deliver results within so and so time, and you have to help the business grow to so and so time. But there is another aspect of of a leadership model, if I put it this way. So there are two things which is very, very critical, and the leadership model can help us take an estimate of our own self. So a leadership model. Let's take one, for example, like the Motor play, one model, which is widely used. This is got two skills. One is the people, the other one is results.
Hello everyone, I am Jitendra Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Pep Hack, Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Mr. Saibal Chakraborty. He is an all-round management professional with 3 decades of experience in handling large-scale business operations and people function in a global role. After completing his master's program, joined P&G in a sales role where he was able to scale up the sales revenue significantly. His initial success helped him to scale up his career and manage teams. He also performed well as manager, circulating in the Statesman, where he enabled the company to be competition and emerge as the leading news daily. Being passionate about people, he moved to HR function in 2002 with Bajaj Allianz. Since then, he has been working in the people function. He moved from local to national and to international level and beyond. Under the leadership, he helped Sandvik to grow to a tune of 56% through successful design and implementation of people strategy. Since 2017, he is working as an independent advisory and associated with PMR Consulting, upgrade work better than GPT. As a speaker and leadership coach, he has conducted more than 6,000 workshops and trained 3 lakh participants. His mission is to inspire young professionals to achieve sustainable success in their career and life. Today, he will be discussing with us about his life journey. So let us hear from him. Welcome, Saibal sir. The platform is open and now over to you.
Thank you, sir, and it's wonderful to really interact with all of you and this platform, and who are doing a marvelous job in connecting people from different corners of the world. And it's always good, to share and learn from each other, and mutually we all benefit as a professional. So
Right.
you can start your.
So that will be a pleasure to have you here and discuss about many things today. So first thing from your personal life, like how did your past life has affected the person you wanted to be in your life and what you are?
It's a fantastic question, actually. I actually was born in a family where it was, I will not say it's a joint family, it's a conglomeration of families. So, the values that I got from such a joint family or extended families was that caring and nurturing. That's, very important, and your question was, how did it help me in my career journey? So, one thing that I learned from the early values of my family was that nurturing and caring is very important. And that is critical in developing any relationship, be it a business relationship, be it a relationship in your workplace or in your family life. When I started my school, it was quite contrary. I was admitted to a school which is a missionary background school. Now, the missionary background school, there was no place for mediocrity. There was always a place for some meritocracy or going beyond or scaling up yourself and high discipline. So both ways. If I consider, in one hand, my school was actually imbibing the values that I have to be disciplined. I need to work on myself. I need to improve. On the other hand, my family was telling me values that you need to take care of relationship. So in a way, when I look at myself, when I reflect on the leadership model, particularly that how my leadership journey has been, I think it has been concern for people as well as concern for results. So both has actually helped me to evolve in my life and role.
Right.
So those are very, very critical, I think, for anybody who's aspiring to create something, to build up an organization, to start an entrepreneurship, or or to go up the corporate ladder, or even to become someone like a performing art. So everybody has to take care of the two aspects in life. One is concerned for people, the another is concerned for results. That's how I derive myself.
Right. And you would when you were growing, you would be having certain career options in your mind, like what you want to be when you are done with all your studies and everything.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to work very much, in finance. So the day I went for my first interview was with PNG. So and fortunately, I did my background was commerce, and then I went to I did my masters also with combination in finance. So I was actually called for an interview for a finance position as to join the traineeship. And while the interview was going on, there's somebody who asked me the question, do you want to work in sales and marketing? So I thought it's very, very interesting because, there I can meet a lot of people, I can interact with people, something that I love to do. So I actually knowing nothing much about, how actual sales and marketing would be, I opted for this profession. So it actually helped me to become a person that I wanted to be.
Right. So that happens actually.
So it happened by accident. It happened by accident that way.
True. And it happens with most people, like same as happened to me as well. So if I talk about what you're passionate about in your life, so what are those things?
There are two things that drives me even today when I get up from the bed. That is two things that I like to do is, one is build people who are good humans, because, building good humans, being a good human is very, very important thing for all of us and critical because, good humans can build great institutions, they can build a great nation, and they can build a great society where all people or most of the people would be feeling safe and they would like to, come up with ideas and grow. So that is very, very important to build humans, great humans. The other one is to build a culture, and that is from the organization point of view because I'm focusing on building culture wherever I have worked. So my focus has been into building culture because unless we have a culture where people feel safe and they come up with ideas, you actually don't innovate because innovation, it triggers innovation. A great culture actually creates or boosts up innovation, and innovation is today very, very important because without innovation, the competition, because brands come to the market and they suddenly grow after some time and then they become stable and then they decline. But to carry on the product life cycle or the service life cycle and to create value in the market, the value proposition, the value chain, every organization must focus on innovation, and building a great culture actually helps a lot.
So that's really interesting to know. So if I talk about your work and experiences, how you started your career, what all you did so far during your journey as a professional, and now as you are working as a trainer, coach, consultant. So how you find it different from your professional journey as a corporate employee?
Fantastic question once again. So, I started into sales and marketing and particularly in sales. And I went to an unknown territory for the first time in my life. The language was unknown, the people were unknown. So that was, and the profession was technically or theoretically known to me, but not in the practical sense.
Right.
So it was quite like an experiment. If I go back to 3 decades journey, the first day or the first few days was, very, very, it's like an experiment and moving beyond a comfort zone. So when I was leaving, one of my seniors told me, the regional head, actually, he told me that, welcome to the world of wolves. That means, today onwards, you are just exposed to the dangers of the world. And the second thing that he told me is that, there is no shortcut in life. So I also mention these things to people when I conduct my workshops or training programs, especially for leaders and people who want to create a success in sales, that there is no shortcut story. There is only one has to strive to make it happen.
Right.
So So the journey was around that, I focused on these two values. I would put it this way, that, I need to strive. And the first day when I went to the territory that I was assigned, there was a huge problem. It was in a big mess. So, and my seniors came and then to my rescue, and they said, would you like to go somewhere else? Because you are very less experienced. We have not handled all this. I said, let me try. And that one word kept inspiring me that, let me try. Because it is all an experiment to me.
Right.
And in a short way, because it was a problem with the distribution channel, a problem with the distributors per se. So I was able to handle that equation very well. And the territory started growing eventually. So my, early success in sales helped me to, scale up my career or gather confidence, and also helped me to manage people, to manage teams, and expand my territory. After some time, some years, I moved up up the ladder in PNG, and then I got an opportunity to work with the Statesman. It's a newspaper company. They were going through one kind of a challenge because the competition was beating them. It was a very old newspaper, and there was a lot of internal challenge as well as an external challenge. So I thought, why not take up another challenge or another facet of a challenge? And this time was, more into handling both, because then there's no fun if I handle only one part. So I said, let me see the internal and external part. Yeah, I got my success after, some stride and some struggle. And we, as a house, as a newspaper, as a daily house, we were able to beat the competition and once again secure the number one slab. These two were very, very critical for me as a functional leader or a business leader. And after 1 decade of success in the business field, I thought that actually I'm passionate about people. So by this time, I could understand that I'm more passionate about people. And so I chose to work in the human resource area. And this time it was another experiment because insurance was just the privatization of insurance that had just happened in 2002.
Right.
With Bajaj Allianz. And I actually knew nothing much about insurance. But then I said, okay, let me take a plunge because, it so happened that, this is a short story. I was returning from, after my initial interview with Amul, and I was chosen to join the marketing team. And and while on my way, I met a gentleman in the airport. So he was actually setting up the team for Allianz Bajaj. That time it was called Allianz Bajaj Life Insurance.
Right.
And the general was called Bajaj Allianz. So he met me and then he said, would you like to come and work with us? After some interaction, so I got excited. I said, yes, I want to, come and work in something. And I didn't talk to my family that time. So my family was, why did you give a word to somebody? And he was his name was Ron Sharma. He was actually heading the entire operations for India. So I didn't know all this. I just met, I thought he's a very senior guy. So I gave my word and then I joined this company. So, I actually was instrumental in, laying the foundation in the entire Eastern region for Allianz Bajaj at that point of time. Recruitment, handling, training, and laying down infrastructure and so on. That time it was not so laid down function like today we see. Everybody was trying to build up an organization like a startup. So after a couple of years of taste in the finance profession or finance area, I got an opportunity to work with a company called Shrey SRAI, and they were transforming from like a family-owned company to becoming a corporate. So there was a challenge of establishing a culture. Now, why I say that culture is very important, and that was my first encounter with how you build a culture, how you create a change in your organization.
Right.
So I was handling the training for the first time. We function of training and performance management started, and I was a person instrumental in developing the training and performance function together. So again, after some 2.5 years or 3 years, I said that I must learn this subject deep well of a leadership development and training and so on. So I joined the company called Dale Carnegie Training India, where I got to actually work with different projects like a bank transformation project, or laying down competency model, or working on skill development for leadership and so on. So I went deep into the subject, and there I almost like became an expert in this area. So I got my first international break with Sandvik after that in 2010 precisely. And that was by that time I was almost like 40, cross 40. So people always say that your opportunities come very early in life, or you get your first international break much early. But my lesson is that anything can happen to anybody at any point of time. We should be open to such changes and challenges.
True.
So I shifted in Sandvik out of India, and I was heading the Asia Pacific Human Resource function for 2,300 employees. And also, after some years, I was heading of another function, which is the talent and leadership development. So here, I was instrumental in developing the people strategy and creating a diverse organization. So that and help the business to grow in terms of revenue, in terms of getting establishing the people strategy and so on. So that was I started in the human resource function in the local role, and in a few years I was in the global role. I think one thing that actually inspired me, because there were a lot of challenges, and whenever I am faced with challenge, I'm inspired to do something. I want to do something good or better and so on. And 2017 onwards, I'm working as a consultant. I'm like independent with PMR Consulting and so many other organizations. My focus is, to build a sustainable organization and to scale up their productivity. I'm only focusing on these two areas.
Right.
So that's how the journey is. And these days I'm also advising some startup organizations, because entrepreneurship is ultimately is what will help people to grow in life. The MBA programs were all started to create entrepreneurs. And unfortunately, today it has become like a comfort zone. So people are thinking that, after MBA, they want to always work somewhere. But that is, and that is a point of disappointment, because, when they start getting into the comfort zone, they think that it is all about some salary. We have actually misused the whole concept of doing a master's in business management or business administration. Because, more and more entrepreneurship is going to come. People will, become employers rather than seeking employment. Because, seeking employment can help in a certain point of time in career. But moving beyond, I think it is all about what scope, what opportunities are we opening up. And and India has got immense potential this way. So I think, as a country, if we work as a community of entrepreneurs, people can contribute to each other, they can help and, each other grow. That's what I believe in this point of time.
Right. And you have worked with multiple organizations, diverse roles, lots of learnings.
Yeah. And so Mike, the net is that we have to focus on two things. One is move beyond the comfort zone, try, experiment with life, focus on entrepreneurship, focus on giving employment rather than taking employment.
Right. Really important and interesting though. So if I talk about your vision, mission and goal in life for next 5 to 10 years from now, so what would that be?
My mission statement, I put it this way: empowering organization and transforming life. So it's just one line. So when I'm talking of an empowered organization, I'm talking about an organization where every organization should actually take care of offering best services and products. Because if an organization is not empowered, they will not bring in best products.
Right.
Or great products. So and services for their customers. An empowered organization can talk about, taking care of shareholder benefits, creating value for shareholders, creating value for suppliers. So it should be like a one unit or one family. Many companies talk about, we are a family, welcome to this family. But that is very theoretical. A true empowerment is where you create a family, because then there is no pinpointing at employees that you didn't perform, you didn't do that. One has to, an empowered organization will always think about, before hiring a talent, is the talent required? What is the value of the talent, and so on. And they, also with suppliers, so they will give respect to suppliers, to their employees, and they will ensure return on investment for the shareholders. So that's how they will thrive as a community, as an institution. And so empowering organization, that's what I meant. And transforming life is when we become an empowered organization, we transform people's life. We keep on add value to people's life. So that's the mission.
That's really important and wonderful thing, because when you empower other people, that gives you more power.
Absolutely. Now, your next question was about the goal. What is my goal?
Yes.
My goal in the next few years would be to help organization, or create entrepreneurship, or help in supporting entrepreneurship, and because young entrepreneur has got a lot of passion, a lot of enthusiasm, but they would not know the right way. So my goal is to support these entrepreneurs to come up and create valuable organization, a value-based organization. And when I talk about the vision in the next upcoming years, so my vision will be as an advisory or as a director would be twofold path. One is to create right investment options or safe investment options, or ensure that the shareholders get right return on their investment. And second part would be create strategy for the organization. So this is something that I want to, that I'm working on. I want to go much deeper into this area in the next few years. That's what your question was, next 5 years or so. Yeah.
Right. Great. So now, sir, if I talk about your personal and professional journey so far, so what are the important learnings from there?
Success is very, very important, because when I'm talking of success cannot be achieved sitting in a comfort zone. So for achieving success, one really has to push boundaries, push their limits, and move outside the comfort zone. I remember a time in my life when I was, as I told you earlier, that I was at a certain age when my family was full swing. I thought I must move out, because that is what I'm working for, I'm living for. And for me, living life is very important. And to live a better life, or to acquire something, or to acquire knowledge, or to expand your boundaries, one must push their limits. So that is one of my key learning so far. Another journey, this journey has taught me one thing, that change is very, very important. We cannot be complacent, thinking that success will come walking to me. We must change. And I have to take a beautiful quotation from Mahatma Gandhi. He said that, be the change you want to be. So we have to inspire the change within ourselves. We have to create a change within ourselves. So that's very, very critical for all of us as humans.
And without
so these are my
change within you, you cannot succeed further.
Absolutely.
Right, sir. And sir, you have been working on leadership development. So on to that, if I talk about how can an individual or individuals use leadership models to develop their leadership skills and improve their efficiency or effectiveness as a leader, so how they can do it?
It's a great question, and actually you make me think a lot about this question, because today when we find managers working in their office, they are always focusing on results. So because there is a pressure from the top,
right.
You have to deliver results within so and so time, and you have to help the business grow to so and so time. But there is another aspect of of a leadership model, if I put it this way. So there are two things which is very, very critical, and the leadership model can help us take an estimate of our own self. So a leadership model, let's take one, for example, like a Mutannon, like one model, which is widely used. This has got two skills. One is the people, other one is results. So a leadership model, for example, if we take this, we can take an assessment of where we stand and what is our development, what areas we need to develop. Similarly, we can talk of another model called the situation leadership model, for example. These are all, I don't want to name them because many of them are copyright. But for example, I'm just taking them for example's sake. So these models can actually help us take an estimate where we stand today. And, I also, while working with Sandvik, I actually came up with one leadership model and something that we designed internally is to, map where we stand as a leader. Now, a leadership model per se, if you ask me what should be the ingredients of a leadership, the ingredients of a leadership model is, of course, the drive for results should be something there. There should be, a component of empathy because, if the empathy is not there, then we cannot get the work done through our people. And there should be something like, we must engage talent because, disengaged talent will not work on behalf of us. So if I were to put a model in place, at a very high level, I would put three words very, very important for a leadership model. One is to engage. So leaders must engage people. Disengaged people will not perform. The second thing would be empathize. So a leader must empathize and see the problem through the people, not the problem per se, but the problem through the people. Help and understand why people are doing something if they are doing, and what if they are not able to do something, what actually is the hindrance. And the last word is empower. So if a true leader engages and they empathize their people, they help the people, they build a very good relationship with the people. And when they're able to build a good relationship with people, they're able to create empowerment for people. And empowered people create empowered organizations.
And that's really important. Like if you empower people, that power goes within the organization and that helps the organization to be more powerful in terms of every aspect, not only one aspect, but all aspects. So for any organization, the most important thing would be sales and marketing, business, profitability, people, the quality of product and services offering they have. So it helps when people are empowered. They help to build on their roles and responsibility, same zeal and enthusiasm that help them to build their area of expertise maybe, or the department they are working on. And collectively, all departments, if they are working smoothly, the organization would be definitely succeeding in all aspects, and that can bring in great results.
Absolutely.
So that's really a wonderful thing, sir. Now, if I talk about the common traits and behaviors associated with effective leadership as outlined by leadership models, so how can individuals incorporate these traits into their own leadership style to better lead and inspire their followers?
Yeah, it's a great question, actually. For a leader, I think one of the key elements or attributes of a leader would be a leadership starts with humility. And when I take this question, the first thing that I thought that, when you're talking about humility, is to take feedback or seek feedback. Organizations use different tools or methods to take feedback. And for example, they use 360 as a model. So, they get feedback as to their performance as a leader. More importantly, I think, this tool helps. Certainly, if you have a formal process in the organization. If the organization doesn't have a formal process, what to do? The question would be more focused on that, because the organization has laid down process. They can, take feedback. They can work. It's part of it. But wherever there is no process, or laid down process of seeking a feedback, the best is to, seek feedback from people informally. So, that always helps, into estimating where we stand in our leadership journey. If somebody is serious about being a great leader, because, there are gone are those days when laissez-faire or, impoverished leadership has got no place today in the industry or be it any organization. So they are going to very soon lose those positions. So if somebody is serious about, leadership and they've chosen path, they must first of all seek feedback. And when you talk about the attributes of leadership, some of the key attributes of a leader would be, first of all, they should have empathy. And they should, so once they estimate themselves where they stand, they should be empathize with the team, with individual member, They should focus on building relationship with team members. So relationship counts a lot, and many things. Whenever I have been into an active leadership role, I've always seen that people work looking at you as a leader. So that's where and I remember, because there was a time when we had formal meetings and informal meetings, and this is a feedback that I got from the business people when I moved to the HR function. They said that people make a difference. Like, they used to give me a feedback. Okay, after you joined the HR function, we were thinking that it's all about doing day-to-day mundane tasks, or issuing appointment letter, or just conducting some interviews, or allowing or releasing the increment letter and all. But you brought in a different dimension. So based on that feedback, I can tell you that leadership is all about empathy. And when you build empathy, whatever you want as a leader, one can get it. Because then the team is with you, people are with you, and the triggering factor is empathy. The next most important thing for a leader would be to build trust, and not to break trust. The last part is very, very important, because organization trusts people with leadership roles, with confidential information, with something that changes, or something that's so. It's very important for critical leadership people to not break their trust with the organization seniors, and also with their own team. So this element is very, very important. And another aspect of leadership attribute will be motivation. And we think that motivation is all about we tell people and they do it. No, we must know what exactly motivates us. So a true leader would know, because every talent, every people in the company has got different motivational triggers or demotivational triggers, both ways. So it is critical for a leader to keep the team motivated, know the triggering points, how to motivate, what exactly to do so that it motivates the team to greater action, and share the big picture. So unless and until the leader is able to show a big picture, our leadership is not successful. So these are attributes like taking or sharing the big picture, creating vision, values for oneself, walking the talk, estimating or re-estimating self, taking where I stand today in my whole map of stakeholders. How do they see me as a leader? And most importantly, ensuring that the trust is ensured in the organization. So if all this is together, then I think, I'm not saying it is all sacrosanct, but then people are able to perform better as a leader. And it is a journey. There is no end to it.
Correct. And you rightly pointed out all the aspects of a leader, all the traits of a leader, because a leader is not a person who only gives the direction. Actually, the person who leads and take the team together. And also he has to be working on multiple tasks, multiple roles he have to perform within his roles and responsibilities. At once he is working as an HR of the team, once he's working as a manager, once he's working as a co-worker. So he has to perform multiple roles within the team as well. And this is really an interesting one, because the role of leader in any organization seems in a way that he or she would only drive the business, but it's way beyond that. So you have narrated it rightly, and you have mentioned all the aspects really wonderfully. So if anybody who is fresher or maybe not much experience, he or she can also understand the basic traits of a leader, and they can start implementing them gradually in their personality, so that they can emerge as a better leader.
Yeah, very true.
Right, sir. So coming back to you again, if I talk about you, you have worked on various roles and responsibilities you have already taken care of. So still I'm asking this question. Are you an introvert or an extrovert kind of a person while meeting people, or being in a large gathering, or facing large audiences? And what do you think plus or minus of the same is?
Wonderful question. See, I used to be an introvert. I'll take it this way. So I have trained to become an extrovert. So because I thought there are benefits. When I started realizing that I need to be extrovert, especially when you're talking of large gathering, and I need to share ideas with people. I need to share my own ideas and belief with people. So I tend to become more towards an extrovert person. But essentially, if you ask me the question that what am I originally I started off as an introvert. And while I am being extrovert, I realized that an extrovert should also, there are some flaws in an extrovert, because an extrovert will always talk. They will just keep on talking. They will not focus on listening or understanding. I think in a way it helped me a lot, because being an introvert, essentially or originally, I was open to listening to ideas. So an introvert, one good thing about an introvert is that they listen. So one has to be really open. Being an extrovert, while facilitating sessions or while conducting meetings, an extrovert should also tend to be open-minded, take questions, listen, understand the question, because there's a risk of, as you rightly said, there is a risk of being an introvert. An introvert will always talk less or will not talk at all, or an extrovert will always talk too much and not listen at all. So there is this risk, and this can be avoided if one is more open to ideas, or listen and then understand the questions and then answer it. I think this is a way out.
Right. And you rightly pointed out, because being an introvert and being an extrovert both have some pluses and some minuses, both sides. So really wonderful thing, because if you follow both, you can get benefit of both. So if I talk about your journey so far, you have possibly got many people to support you. And if I ask you who were the greatest support, so you have to name few of them.
Yeah, actually, people help people grow. This is my own understanding, because we all need support in our life.
Agree with that.
Be it and that if they come from a professional field, it's really wonderful. So there have been many people, countless people who have actually supported my journey and are still supporting my journey. So and it doesn't matter whether they come from a different race, or they come from a different nationality, or they come from different geographical region, or their language is different. It doesn't matter. So there have been enormous people who have actually supported, and the list if I cannot finish it up. But I must mention two most important people in my life. They are very close to me, and they are within my close circle. And why? And they are very special to me when you're talking about the inspiration. One is my mother, and the other person is my wife. So these two people, beyond everything, they are very special in terms of the inspiration part, or helping me grow in my career. Because despite of all my limitations that I had, the shortcomings that I had, these two people always believed in me. They had been, and whenever I was thinking that it will not be possible for me, they believed in me. They trusted me the most, and they have been a great support in my journey. I lost my mother almost going to be around 23, 24 years from now. And the day I got my first promotion, I lost her on the same day. But this is very, very, in a way, it's very reflective of me, because, she believed in me, but she couldn't see that success on that day.
Right.
But nonetheless, my wife is still continuing with me, and she instilled that faith and belief in me that I can make many things happen. Here, I must also mention that there are many people who have been also unkind to me. There are people who have been really kind and helpful to me. There also have been people who have not been kind. They are also, in a way, they supported. Why? Because, they always told me indirectly that I need to better myself. So I also, take this opportunity to thank those who have been unkind to me, so that, and we need unkind people in life, because they always help you to inspire you indirectly. So they are not foes, they are actually your friend. I would answer it this way.
Right. And that happens with people around. Like sometimes we see them as our support. Sometimes they don't support us, but in other way they help and support indirectly to grow us better. So that's really important. Though we should have all type of people around, because sometimes we need support and motivation. Sometimes we need like opposite of that also to grow in life.
Yeah, true.
So, sir, if I talk about motivation and inspiration in your life, what are the ways you get your motivation and inspiration from?
Motivation and inspiration in life, they are like oxygen to me and for everybody. So my greatest motivation is not my wife. So in a way, it's a very humor way of putting it. So my greatest motivation is that we need oxygen, and the first thing that I do when I get up in the morning, I have a routine. So the day I break my routine, I feel really demotivated. But I try to follow my routine. So that is my greatest motivation. That I have a wake up time at 4:30, between 4:30 to 5 in the morning. So that's my wake up time. And when I get up in the morning, the initial prayer is very, very important, because these values have actually come from my family, and I'm not very ritualistic person, but what I tend to do is I go and sit in the open. So and that's at my personal reflection time, where I'm one-on-one with me, because I told you I'm an introvert essentially. So that is the one-on-one time, because I reflect a lot that time. And I have actually no thoughts coming to me. I just have one-on-one time with me. So this is one way of motivating myself. The other way of seeking motivation or getting motivation is to mix with people. And I take every occasion to learn from people. They could be less experienced. They could be from some other trade or some other business. So I try to mix up with people and observe people and learn from them, because you can learn from somebody who's, as I said, they could be doing a small job or whatever, but we have to learn from each other. So that is another source of getting motivation. And another way of motivation is, of course, reading books. I'm not, sometimes I get time, sometimes I don't get time, but at least I make sure that I read a few lines every day.
Right.
And I carry that thoughts with me. So these are 3 methods.
Great, sir. And that's really important that you have free time for yourself. You should have some good thoughts at that point in time, which keeps you motivating within. So with the motivation from inside is the biggest thing anybody can have. Really wonderful. So, sir, now moving on to the next one. If I ask you your take on success, what do you feel or see success as?
Yeah, I would put it this way. Success to me is what we get at the end of a struggle. So where there is no struggle, we cannot call it success, but we call it luck. So, there are people who are fortunate enough to be born in big families or rich families or, influential parents. They get their education and everything, and then they go and sit and occupy a chair. That is luck. That is not success. Success is something that, we get after end of struggle. So, there is success. In a way, I would put it this way. There is struggle, and we are not sure whether we will get success or we'll meet failure. Suddenly you get success, get an achievement, and then you call it success. If it's failure, even then it's a success story, because you learn a lesson from it. And if I use a food analogy to describe success, suppose, you take a platter, where you have bitter, you have spicy food, you've got bitter taste food, you've got, sweet, some dessert, and everything, a mix of platter. So something, a true successful person would have everything in a platter together. It is not just about achievements and success stories and, I have achieved all this. So everything together is what creates a success.
True. Because there could not be one thing in life, and you cannot have only one food throughout the life. So you have to have multiple things there also. So every aspect. So there are so many things like we have in our life. So everything is important. Like failure is important, learning is important, growing is important, seeing other people is also important. Like so, learning from others. So many things. Everything is important in life. So we are on last one. Any message or advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners today?
One of the key things that what I'm seeing around me is that people are too much running after results. So people want to get results after short after they do something.
Right.
And today we have created a method where result matters. And today, in my times, there was no social media when I was growing up. And today we have a lot of social media interference, media and other media and all that. So people are flaunting their results and thinking that they have done so much in life. So what I want to tell people, especially the budding youngsters today, the entrepreneurs, being a student, you could be a student, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be, a professional. One should not chase for result, but one should believe in a process, work in a disciplined way. Because results can come to somebody after, 2 hours, or somebody has to wait 2 years. Somebody has to wait 2 decades to get a result.
Right.
So it is not that I want immediate success. So in a way, to have patience, then follow a process and believe in the process. Another thing, when people become result driven, they become envious. So there is a rat race. I want to take this. I want to beat the other person. And then the obvious, part comes in is being envious, and they want to destroy somebody and then take that seat, grab that seat. So my only saying would be, don't become envious, because end of the day, the title, the money that we make, the kind of status that we live in, our cars and houses and money that we make, none of us, believe me, none of us will carry this. We will all have to leave everything here. So the karma matters. So focus on karma, being the right person, and take every day as if we have been born new. So every day is a new life for us. Every day is a new opportunity for us.
Right.
There is no a good muhurta, shubh muhurta, and ashubh muhurta, and all that. So everything is every day is a beginning. It's like a new dawn. Move with spirit. Believe in yourself. The final thing is to believe in yourself. Because if we believe in ourselves, the world will believe us.
True.
So I think that's how I could summarize this. That last
Yes,
message.
rightly, and very, very appropriately, because unless you believe in yourself, other people don't believe you. So whatever you do, you should be confident enough to believe yourself that whatever you are doing, that should be right. One thing that should be
Absolutely.
That should not be like you're going for a bank robbery and you are believing that you are doing right.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, so if you are doing right thing and you believe in yourself, definitely you
that
would
should
have
be
people to follow you,
absolutely
support you.
So believe in the task that you do, in the process that you do, and the belief comes because it gets a lot of confidence. We get a lot of confidence from that. Because if we don't believe, others won't believe us. And I'm talking about typical professional life where people, unsure candidates. What happens is when people get selected for a particular position, if the person looks very unsure, then people don't trust them, and then they lose out, even after being talented and having all the knowledge and expertise.
True.
If somebody is not unsure, they will lack that confidence.
Correct. So your self-belief is the key. Whatever you believe, you have to be like there. So first believer of yourself is you.
Absolutely.
So it was really amazing that you have shared about your life journey, how struggling it was, and you have worked with multiple organizations. You have learned so many things from each organization, each role, and now you've been working as a coach, expert, trainer. So as a trainer, as a coach, you are helping leadership development and supporting organizations to grow. That is really wonderful thing. And also you have shared so many things about leadership, the experiences from your journey. That was really immense and helpful to all of us. I have also learned so many things from you today that will help me, and I am really thankful to you to be here and share your journey, your experiences, your knowledge with us. Thank you so much, Saibal sir. It was wonderful having you here.
I must express my sincere gratitude to you because you have been so kind enough to hold this interaction, and every opportunity of sharing and learning is very, very important. I'll also, while interacting with you, I come to know you, the great work you're doing for your channel. It's my so I was saying that your channel and you are doing a wonderful job actually of bringing keynote learning people. Because I was going through the previous interviews that you've done, and the learning that you're sharing with people. You've got people today want to visualize valuable content in the YouTube or podcasts, to learn many good things. And such valuable contents are missing today. So you are doing a great job in bringing these valuable content to people.
Right.
Many people don't get time to learn so much from day to day while they are traveling, or when they are have some time. But they can learn a lot from these interviews or these interactions that you're doing. What I want to tell you is that I wish you best of luck
Thank you, sir.
for your channel and to you, and you continue to do this value-added work, and people should be enriched watching your videos, these kind of learning videos. So thank you so much. I want to express my gratitude and thanks to you and
Thank you so much,
team
sir.
behind you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a
sir.
wonderful
It was really,
time.
really wonderful to have you. I will also share your social media link along with this interview so that people can be in touch with you, take your help and guidance also. So guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much everyone for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you.